Hello friends, Dr. Nels here, and we're coming to you with a two-part series on narcissists. Hello friends, Dr. Nels here, coming to you with more information on life, leadership, and business, helping build your values and principles so that you can be the best version of you. And as I said in the bumper intro, we're going to do a two-part series on narcissist or narcissism. And this week, we're going to visit with you about what is a narcissist. And then next week, we're going to talk to you about eliminating a narcissist, or at least getting to the point of healthy boundaries with a narcissist. So we want to start with talking about narcissists, and as Kale knows that we're just doing the recording, I've had the pleasure of dealing with narcissists and or being brought in to help coach and mediate in scenarios with narcissists involved in businesses to help get the issues figured out and solved. And in most of them, we didn't truly know we were dealing with a narcissist in the beginning, or at least I didn't, or they didn't know and tell me in the beginning. And then as we traveled the road, we figured things out. And for me personally, I had started to hear the term narcissism, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago, somewhere in there. And I didn't know what it was really. And you hear people say, well, they're narcissists. And I really struggled with it. And then I started reading it in some of my coaching scenarios where I was getting involved with people. Then I'm like, wait a minute, this is ringing a bell. And so I don't typically do this. Most of this stuff is all off the cuff, but I'm going to read you the definition of a narcissist in a couple different ways. Just a basic definition is a narcissist is someone who has an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. While confidence and self-assurance are healthy traits, narcissism crosses the line into dysfunction when it involves arrogance, entitlement, and manipulation. The clinical definition of narcissist is a pervasive pattern of grandiosity in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration, and a lack of empathy beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts. And so those are a couple different definitions. And for me, I believe it's like a lot of things in life, whether we're talking about a disciplined person, and over here is extreme discipline, and to my left is just absolute terrible discipline. Everybody falls on that scale somewhere. Everybody's not the same. And the same is for an ego. Some people have a really, really extreme ego, and others have none at all or not much at all, and we fall in here. And as Kale and I were talking beforehand, sometimes my ego can be over here, and sometimes my ego can be over here. Sometimes it even changes as we go on. Narcissism is similar in that we have this scale of narcissism, and over here to the right is an extreme diagnosed narcissistic personality disorder. Over here is no levels of narcissism, and we have people all over the board. And I do believe all of us can maybe at times have a level of narcissism, even if it's over here. The challenging part is narcissists can and will, if they are allowed, destroy businesses and relationships to get to where they want to go. And so in all my experiences, a narcissist sees this world as they want to see it, and they will do everything in their power. If the world is over here and they see the world over here, they will do everything in their power to manipulate systems, people, form alliances, create problems that maybe aren't there, and make you think you are the problem, to get the world in a position and behaving in the way and things in place so they see the world, so the world is now how they see it and want it to be. And as we talk about the definition, we're going to give you a few more points. Need for admiration, a sense of entitlement, such as rules don't apply to them, a lack of empathy, and many times they really have, they dismiss or minimize all other people's feelings and emotions. Manipulation and exploitation, I would say, is probably one of the most common traits and most easily identifiable traits that we experience over time. Some people may identify the manipulation up front. It may take them several times to figure out the manipulation over time, to where that they're like, oh yeah, I'm just a pawn in their game, right? Arrogance and superiority, you know, many narcissists, they may be on the spectrum of arrogance. I've seen some that don't really act arrogant a lot, but in certain scenarios it really comes out. Envy and believe others envy them. I don't see that as much, in my opinion. A fragile self-esteem. In other words, sometimes when things don't go their way, they may get really upset or get very defensive when challenged. Shallow relationships, I would say, every narcissistic situation I've been involved in, they really struggle having deep, loyal, truthful, honest, loving relationships, because at the end of the day, that's not them. And in every relationship, you're simply a pawn in their game to get from the world as it is to the world they want it to be and as they see it to be. And so the sad part is we can all think of people, probably as the world has evolved and the term has become more common in narcissists and narcissism. And so we must do all we can to identify these people and create an environment to where they don't harm us or harm the organization. Because as I said, in the scenarios I've been brought in to help with, coach on, lead through, create solutions, in the scenarios where a narcissist is involved, at the end of the day, in those scenarios, they have to go. And you have to work through the process to figure all that out and to figure out the process to get them to go. And through that process can be a lot of extreme pain, but if you don't do that, they will get the world positioned as they want it to be and as they see it to be. And when that happens, they will get rid of the people that are in their way. And so for me personally, I'm passionate about it, because in the scenarios I've been involved in, these people that are narcissists, they always end up hating me. And that's because, as I tell people, I now can pick them out very easily, and I am the buzzsaw. And I'm happy to be the buzzsaw, because they always are very, very dangerous people. They will create massive hurt and pain in organizations, and because of their lack of empathy, they will not care. They're also very good at forming alliances to get to where they want to go, and the people in the alliance, good people, won't even know it. Many times they don't even figure it out. They still believe they're in the right with the narcissist. And it becomes very dangerous, very troubling scenarios when narcissists are that good. And so I hope some of this wording and some of what we've talked about today has been helpful. I don't know if I've been crystal clear, but I think if you think through everything I've said and you think about the relationships you're in, it's giving you some ideas and some flavor for people that you've been around that may be on that scale, from zero narcissism to full-blown diagnosable narcissistic personality disorder that's a clinical disease. And I'll end with this. The reason you have to figure it out is because when they're truly on the scale of narcissistic personality disorder, as I learned through a physician in one of the scenarios I was coaching through, They are not a healable, it is not a healable disease 99 times out of 100. It is a full-blown clinical personality disorder that neither you nor me can fix. And that's the first thing you have to understand. Because if you're a good leader and a great person, you want to bring them along to fix them. But I'll end with this: they're not fixable. And the only person that will get hurt in the end, if you try to fix them, will be you. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this information. Click subscribe here if you would like to get this stuff coming to your email inbox. And next week we will put some focus on healthy boundaries and eliminating a narcissist. Thank you. Thanks for joining us.